Now, let's get started. I'll do a little bit of introduction and then I'll dive into the main meat. And I'll drive our session today using my slide, and I'll go ahead and make my presentation. So feel free, ask questions, engage in the chat. I have my colleagues who would take your questions and answer. And before we wrap up today, we'll also have a Q&A. All right. Now, who is Tenalytics? We are the leading educational technology company helping people of the Black community, Africans in Africa, and Africans in the diaspora to transition and get into the tech ecosystem. And we do this by providing you with the best-in-class training, skills, and services across different areas, majorly in data analytics, data science, data engineering, financial analytics, HR analytics, cybersecurity, and so on and so forth. Now, the question is, why do we offer these programs? And that's where I'll take you into the considerations and the criteria for focusing on specific job areas if you want to get a visa-sponsored job. Over the last 4 years, we've been able to help over 2,000 people to make that transition from the classroom into getting their first jobs in the tech ecosystem. And I'll be leading the session today. My name is Adeza. I'm a technology expert with a decade experience in data analytics and management consulting. So just like so many of you, I started out the same way. I had no experience. I had never done this before. My first degree was in industrial chemistry, and my first professional job was as a management consultant. But then I knew that the best way forward where I'll get all the numerous opportunities was within the tech ecosystem. And 10 years ago, in 2014, I decided to jump into the space. 10 years after, I've helped over 2,000 people to also make that transition. I've worked as a data science consultant in the US, in the UK, a data analyst with one of the largest energy conglomerates in sub-Saharan Africa, and also a data analytics consultant with FITC. I've worked across 5 different sectors, from energy to educational technology to automobile, financial services, and sports. And I'll share my journey as we move into our session today. But the main thing we'd focus on, like I said, is where do you get that visa-sponsored job? You're in the UK, you've completed your master's, you're trying to get a job. How do you get that job? Where do you look for the jobs? How do you apply? What skills do you need to have to compete for the best jobs available within the space? We'd also look at the best pathways to getting into those career paths. So you've identified a career path, but what specific skills do you need to have to dive into those career paths? I'll introduce you to our upcoming cohorts starting on the 5th of October, 2024. And finally, I have a special discount for those of you that stay till the end of our session today. Now, one major question people ask is, do people get jobs? Are there people who have gotten into the space, no experience, they've learned the skills, and they're able to compete, apply to jobs, and get jobs? And for those of you who live in the UK, for example, this is the best time for you to start applying to get that job if you already have the skills. So it's been raining job opportunities over the last few weeks from some of our participants, and I would share a little bit of them with you as we dive into our session, because it always seems impossible until you see other people that have done the same things that you're trying to do. So I'm going to share 2 key stories with you today. The first would be Ngozi Aderemi. Ngozi was a customer service professional. She also has, HR experience coming from where she came from in Nigeria, and she was able to transition into a business analyst role after completing our business analysis program. Ngozi is doing an amazing job where she is, working remotely and having a fantastic time. Just like so many people currently on the call, Ngozi had no experience as a business analyst. She was a customer service professional, but decided that, look, I want to get opportunities within this space and I need to learn the skills. She joined Tenalytics after completing the program, We worked with her, prepared her for our interviews, worked on her CV, worked on her LinkedIn, and she was able to secure this job. You're going to listen to Ngozi. You also have Ololade. Ololade joined us sometime last year, but her objective was a bit different. She wasn't just looking to get a job. She was looking to get permanent residency in Canada. And she needed an organization to affiliate herself with, to open up opportunities for her PR application. Fast forward about 10 to 11 months later, Ololade currently resides in Canada as a permanent resident in Alberta, leveraging Tenalytics as her experience, and also Tenalytics providing her with a reference letter. Okay, so that's Ololade over there, and you'd see her sending me this email on the 19th of September. Hi, Adeza. This is Ololade. I would like to appreciate your help with the referral for my Canada PR application. It's with great joy, and I would like to inform you that the application was successful, and I'm now a PR holder. May God Almighty continue to bless you and uphold Tenalytics. That's Ololade's story. Then you have Bukola, who recently moved to Poland and needed to get a job as a data scientist. She joined our data science program, completed the program, applied to jobs, and now Bukola is a people data scientist with QVC in Poland, and so many other numerous stories. And I'm going to share some of them with you, but I want you to listen to Ngozi, okay? And I would also love you to listen to Ikmat, who was also able to secure a visa-sponsored job after completing the data analytics program. All right. So I'm going to click on this link. It will take us to Ngozi's video, very short video, about 60 seconds, 1 minute video, and you get to listen to how Ngozi was able to transition to a business analyst from a customer service role. Okay, so sit back, relax, enjoy Ngozi's video, and I would love to hear what you think about it afterwards. Okay, so let's hear what Ngozi has to say very quickly.
Hi, my name is Sungozi Adiremi. For a long time, I've been looking for a working from home kind of job. So I did my business analysis training with Tenalytics, and guess what? After my training, I started looking for a job, trying to get a working from home job, and now I got one. I just want to encourage you as a student of Tenalytics, or maybe you're aspiring to join Tenalytics for training. It's very good because when you're done, you will get a working from home job. Thank you.
So that's Ngozi, fantastic lady, completed the business analysis program, former customer service professional, former HR professional, but today she's on the job as a business analyst, and so many other professionals. So when you ask the question, is it possible? Has it been done before? Are there people that have gone ahead of you? They've done this and they've gotten the job. The answer is a resounding yes. You have Joel, who works remotely as a data engineer. You have Vivian, who completed the data analytics program, the data science program. She got a job as a data scientist working remotely for a company in France before she moved to the UK, and currently works as a data and business analytics manager in the UK. You have Oluwadamilare, you have Ikmat, and so many other professionals. I'd love you to listen to Ikmat, but we're going to come back to Ikmat's story. Ikmat works with the NHS as a data analyst after completing the data analytics program. How did the interview, how did her CV, her preparation, the feedback she got, how did that help her land the job? And those are some of the major talking points for today's session. All right. You have somebody like Abdul Hakim, who got a job as a data analyst, sending me this email saying, I received a £44,000 offer and I'll be starting in the next few days. You have somebody like Busola, who recently moved to Canada, joined the data analytics program and got a job with Desjardins, one of the largest financial giants here in Canada, working for them as a performance data analyst. Busola moved to Canada in March. I beg your pardon, she joined the program in March 2024, and she got the job in July. Okay, so just within the space of 4 months, Bukola was able to secure this job. And this goes against all the misconceptions you always hear, all the myth you always hear about you need Canadian work experience, you need to be a Canadian, you need to be this, you need to be that to get a job. While people are getting jobs every single day. All right. So the question is, how do they do it? And how has Tenalytics played a role in helping them get these opportunities? Now, KB, I can see somebody hand up. KB iPhone, your hand is up. Send your question to the chat. I'll be very happy to take your question from there so we can move well with time. Now, there's so many other success stories. I'm going to share my slide with you at the end of today's session so you get to listen to these amazing professionals and get to see what they are doing, how they were able to transition, and the key considerations for you. Somebody like Abigail, who is also a business analyst. She moved from Saskatchewan to Alberta because she got a job with the government of Alberta. Abigail used to be a care worker while in Canada. Then she came into the business analysis program, completed the program, and now she's a business analyst in Edmonton with the government of Alberta. Ramat also secured a visa-sponsored job working with the NHS as a business architect after completing the business analysis program. And there's so many other professionals you'd see. They've come back to talk about their experience, and I've kept the links for you. So you listen to these people, get inspired, get to hear their journey and how you can also learn from that. Okay? Now let's get into the main meat of our session today, the crux of our session, which is before you apply to get that job, there are certain things you must do. And this is where people acquire the wrong skills. They want to transition. They've been bankers back in Nigeria. They live in Cameroon. They live in Egypt. And they're trying to move into different other regions, the US, the UK, Canada, and so on. But they don't know the type of jobs to apply to. Which jobs are in demand? How do I ensure that if I transition into this space, I stay relevant over the next 5 to 10 years? All right. So you must follow this 6-step approach for you to get the best possible career path to transition to. And I'll start one after the other. All right. The very first step is to know what you want to learn. Which career path do I need to move into? You must select a career path that pricks your interests. That's number one, because when you start learning and things get tough, interest is what gets you going. So you must have an interest in that particular career path. If it's a business analyst role, a data analyst role, a data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, there must be an interest. Secondly, you must also ensure that the career path you are moving into is in high demand. Okay, is in high demand and you'd stay relevant in the job market, no matter when you decide to move into the job market. All right. So you must ensure that you are selecting the right career path. And I'll show you how to select the right career path. They're fantastic career path, but they're career paths you don't want to move into because of how long it will take you to learn the skills. And there's a lot of buzzwords, but it's difficult for you to remain relevant because according to research, in the next 5 years, those career paths will be rendered irrelevant and they keep on declining when it comes to the demand. So how do you select the best career path possible? That's the first thing you must do. And I'll show you how to do that based on research and educated study that clearly indicates where the opportunities would be. What are the job roles in the UK, for example, where you have the opportunity to apply for a skilled worker visa? Can I do that with all types of jobs? The answer is no. There are specific job roles. Okay, so how do you identify them? Right? The second thing you need to do, once you've known where you want to move to, you need to learn the skill. You need to educate yourself. You need to acquire the skills, acquire experience, and have proof to show that you have the skills and you also have experience. And you must find yourself in a career path where you work with people who are not just trainers, but are your what? Your learning partners. I emphasize on learning partners because you need more than just training to get a job. You need somebody who would support, work with you, provide resources to ensure you are able to navigate the space. And I'll talk about how we do that as you learn the skills to become any, different career path you decide to move into. Once you've selected a career path, you decide to learn the skill. The next is to gain experience. And I'll break this down practically, how you get to do this. So I just want you to take notes. Number one, I need to identify the career path. I'll show you how to do that. Number two, you need to learn the skill. Learning the skill with an organization that will be your learning partner along the journey. So you're not just learning the skills, but you're learning more than that. Your technical skills, your employability skills, and you have all the resources to compete and stand out in the job market. Number three is to gain experience. And this is where a lot of people, they get defeated and they give up that they can't get a job. Now, imagine you've been working 5 years in the bank. Okay, now you have moved to the UK and you realize that to get that banking job might be a little bit difficult. So you want to transition into data science, for example. People wrongly assume that my 5 years experience back home in Nigeria, back home in Ghana, back home in South Africa becomes useless, but that's not the case. You must gain experience as a data scientist. How do you gain that experience? Because you've not worked in an organization before, and that's where you gain project-based experience. Experience is not only when you take your backpack, you take the train, you go to the office, and you sit down in front of a computer to work. That's one way to gain experience. Another way is to work on projects that people on the job currently do. What type of problems do they solve? If I solve exactly the same problems working on projects, that gives you experience. And this is what recruiters are looking for. They're not looking for somebody who has a paper, a certification to say I can do the job. They're looking for people who have actually done the job. So once you've worked on projects, you must build something you call a portfolio. And your portfolio is your showroom. This is where you put all the work you've done, you put it into that showroom called your portfolio. So people can walk into your showroom, see what you've done, feel, touch, interact, see the quality of the type of work you've done. That's proof of work. That's where any recruiter is confident to say that you know how to do the job. What you then go back to do with your 5 years experience is to what? Tailor your previous experience. Okay, you tailor your previous experience. So you've worked 5 years in the bank as a customer service professional. You handled inbound, outbound calls. You listen to customer complaints to solve their problems for them, and so on and so forth. But now you are moving from that into a data science career path. You've worked on projects, you've built a portfolio. But if you take your CV or your LinkedIn and you put that in front of any recruiter, and they see that the last 5 years you were doing something totally different as a customer service professional, and now you only have a few months experience as a data scientist, you still will not get hired. So what do? You tailor your previous experience. So rather than saying I handle inbound and outbound calls, you would rephrase and recouch your achievements to include things like, I gathered customer feedback and I used a linear regression model, or I used a sentiment analyzer. I created a sentiment analysis model to help me identify the pain points of the customers, gave the recommendation so we could easily solve the common pain points of the customers, reducing customer complaints from 90% to 50%, or from 90% to 20%. So you rephrase what you've done, not just receiving, phone calls or calling customers, but you've gotten data from customers, you've analyzed that data, you've carried out sentiment analysis to identify the pain points of those customers. So you know exactly what to solve, reducing customer complaints from 90 to 20%. And that's what you must do to your previous experience. Adding a flavor of your new career path as a data scientist into your previous experience as a customer service professional. And that's where your experience shines through. They don't look at you as somebody who has never done it before. You have a portfolio, your showroom, to showcase that you've worked on projects, and you also have a good CV that represents you in the best light. Now, how do you get to work on projects? That's where you must also be a part of an organization that provides you with what? Internship opportunities. Okay, and that's what Analytics stands for. Everything you need more than just learning the skills. You need to get employability, experience, and all of that. Now, once you've gained project-based experience, you need to know how to speak. You need to know how to sell yourself during an interview. You need to have the right CV so that you can attract the best organizations, go past the ATS system, get called for an interview, go into that interview and represent yourself in the best light possible so you can get that job. Okay, so do you have the right CV? Do you know how to tailor your CV to job requirements? Do you have the right LinkedIn profile? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. So we review your CV, we optimize your LinkedIn profile, you have the opportunity to schedule interview preparation sessions. And from the interview preparation sessions, you know exactly what to say when you get into that room to be interviewed. Okay, imagine you have a data analyst, interview coming up. You schedule a session, I jump on the call with you. Looking at the job description, I can tell categorically every single question that you'd likely get during the interview. Would simulate and would role play the interview together. I ask you questions. From your feedback, I tell you exactly what you need to say, how to prepare, what to go back to read on, what to go back to work on, and we probably would have a second session afterwards. If you don't have this level of support and you want to get a sponsored job, you want to compete for the best jobs available in that country, you will struggle. And that's why you have so many people in the job market struggling to get a job. And as far as they are concerned, those jobs are not available and they're not possible. But people are getting those jobs every single day. And this is exactly what they're doing. Last but number 5 is networking. Okay, what does networking mean? We all hear networking, but what does it actually mean? How can you get the best from networking? Being a part of a community solves a lot of your problems. Okay, being a part of the Analytics community, for example, we've had numerous instances where people working in an organization, a vacancy becomes open in that particular organization. And all they need to do is inform their classmates in the WhatsApp group. These opportunities are available. Go ahead and apply. And once they go ahead and apply and somebody is invited for the interview, that person that posted the link will prepare that particular person for the interview. So all the things you should prepare for, you have first-hand information of how your interview would be because that person had just completed a similar process. So what to expect, how to prepare, and so on and so forth. And that's the power of networking. And I'll give a practical example of how this happened at Analytics. And finally, mentorship. We had a mentorship session on Thursday this week, and I took that session, and what I told the mentees, the Analytics participants, I taught them how to build in public. That was the focus of our mentorship session, because there are some subtle strategies that if you don't implement, you would struggle to get a job. Now, imagine I go to your LinkedIn. You say you want to get a job as a data analyst, data engineer, cybersecurity analyst, but there is nothing on your LinkedIn that points to that type of person. You don't show the world what you do. Nobody knows what you are learning. Nobody knows how good you are. How do you then get opportunities? So you must build a persona of that person who wants to become a data analyst. So they see you, they're attracted by what you do, you gain that notoriety on LinkedIn and other platforms, and you start to get calls, you start to get messages from recruiters that they want to speak to you. So you have access to mentorship from industry experts that'll tell you the nitty-gritty, what you need to do to open up more opportunities for you within the space. As we move on during our session today, I'll break down all these 6 step by step, how you can get into this, what you should do, how to select the right career, how to learn, how to gain project-based experience, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we're going to go into the first one immediately, which is selecting the right career path, your desired career. So what we do at Analytics is very simple. Every single year since 2020, the end of the year, we take data across the major job boards, from Indeed to LinkedIn to Glassdoor, CB Library, read.co.uk, ZipRecruiter, and so on and so forth, from the major economies, the UK, the US, and Canada. And what do? We analyze this data to see the jobs that have the highest frequency. So which roles have recruiters been hiring for? Which particular job roles do companies want the most in the last year? And we look at that data and we juxtapose it against 3 major criteria. Number 1 is ease of learning. Ease of learning because you don't want to get into any career path. You want to get into a career path where you can learn within the space of 3 to 5 months, gain the skills, apply to jobs, and secure a job. You don't want to go back for a master's. You don't want to spend another 2 years learning the skill. And that's where you have ease of learning. So how easy is it for me to learn this skill? Do I need to go back to school? Can I learn the skill within the space of 3 to 5 months? So we looked at that as a major criteria. We also looked at ease of transitioning. How easy is it to transition? Can somebody who worked as a customer service professional get into the career path? Can somebody who is a care worker, support worker, become a data analyst? So how easy is it to transition? That's the second criteria we looked at. And for people looking at ease of learning, I always ask this question. Now, imagine you want to become a blockchain engineer, okay? Or you want to get into robotics, or even software engineering, a fantastic career path. Software engineering, it will take you nothing less than about a year or more, depending on the commitment you put into software engineering. For blockchain, it takes you about maybe 2 years or more, with proper dedication and commitment to the learning journey for you to get into those career paths. So even while they're fantastic, there is a demand. They are not easy to get into. Okay, so that's why ease of learning is very, very important. The final is high and rewarding salary. So I've learned for the last 3 to 5 months, I've gained the skills. When I start applying to get jobs, how easy would it be for me to get those jobs? And what would my salary, look like? Would I get rewarded similar to my counterparts in other job roles, in other industries, and so on and so forth? So we took these 3 criteria and we came up with 8 career paths that if you find yourself learning the skills, you find yourself in these career paths, you will get a job, and get a job very fast. And these 8 career paths are the business analyst career path, the agile project manager, the data analyst, the data scientist, the data engineer, the cybersecurity analyst, financial analyst, and the HR analyst. And they all fall and fit into the 3 criteria I just mentioned. Ease of learning, you can learn these skills within the space of 3 to 5 months. Ease of transitioning, we've had bakers who became business analysts. We've had customer service professionals like Ngozi Aderemi, like Ramat, who got a visa sponsorship after completing a business analysis program. So when it comes to transitioning, you have people from a diverse background who have gotten into this career path, and the salary are also fantastic. But we didn't just stop there. We decided to seek external validation. So this was our analysis in-house. Let's go out there and see other reputable organizations that have also done similar analysis. And we looked at the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report. Okay, and we needed to see the analysis we've done, does it align with where the world is going? And we found out that according to the World Economic Forum, at the left-hand side here, you have the jobs that are growing in demand. And at the right-hand side, you have the jobs that are declining in demand. And this is where I like to tell professionals, if you're like me and you don't want to get into a career path where in the next 2 years, you are thinking of changing again, you want to make an educated decision, a smart decision based on research and based on data, then you want to look at this report closely. So for anybody thinking of getting into product management, while it's a fantastic career path, it's on the decline. In the next 5 years, you're likely going to get replaced. When you look at career path in training and training development, HR professionals, your job is on the decline. And so many other career paths like that. If I move to the next page. So you look at this and realize that product management is a fantastic career, no doubt about it. It's a buzzword. Everybody wants to get into product management. But guess what? According to research by the World Economic Forum, this career path is on the decline. Why would you want to get into a career path that is on the decline? Okay, so that's the question you need to ask yourself. Now, looking at the career paths that are growing, this is where you want to get into. And for me to just summarize, if you find yourself in any career path that has to do with data, you can't be making a mistake. You're in the right place because the amount of data we've generated over the last 5 years is unprecedented. 90% of the data we have today was generated in the last 5 years. So organizations are looking for professionals to do what? To manage, store, handle that data, analyze the data, get insights, protect the data, and so on and so forth. And that's why you'd see the jobs that are growing in demand. On the top 5, top 6, you have the AI and machine learning specialists. These are your data scientists. You have the business intelligence analysts. These are your data analysts. You have the data analysts, data scientists clearly written. And this shows you clearly where the opportunities are. As a data analyst, data scientist, if you find yourself in any of these areas, you will get a job in the shortest time possible and stay relevant over the next 5 to 10 years. You'd also go ahead and see the information security analyst, and these are your cybersecurity professionals. They are the ones protecting the systems, protecting the network, protecting the data in organizations. These are career paths that are on the upward trend. They are growing in demand, and you want to get into this space. You'd also get to see the data engineers. And the data engineering career path cuts into so many areas. Big data specialists, data engineers, database architects, and so on and so forth. So you'd see a particular broad area, but they break into so many other chains. For example, a data analyst is where the HR analyst is derived. The HR analyst is a data analyst that works with people data. Okay, just like you have the big data specialists, these are the data engineers. They get the big data, they manage, they store, they ensure that the data is easily accessible in any organization. And if you move on, you'd see the process automation specialist, and these are your business analysts. A business analyst is the process person. in an organization. They ensure that a process that takes 5 days, they reduce it to take just 5 minutes by implementing solutions, applications, and tech and tools to ensure that they reduce and make the process more efficient. You have the project managers, especially focused on the agile framework, the agile methodology using the Scrum framework, Kanban, and Lean. So you don't just want to become a project manager. You want to tailor your project management to the tech ecosystem. And that's where you have the agile project manager. You have the database and network professionals, your data engineers, your cybersecurity professionals. You have the financial analysts, and you also have the supply chain and logistics specialists, where you find data analysts and data scientists within the space. So looking at these, we were convinced that if these are the career paths that are growing in demand, then we are doing the right thing, getting people into those areas. And that's one of the reasons why the Tenalytics alumni would get a job faster than anybody else out there. Because number one, you are in a career path that is on the upward trend. You also have the skills and you have all the right employability skills to apply to get those jobs. So looking at the 8 career path, I'm going to take a breather right now, and I want to know, which of these career paths are you interested in? The data analytics, the data science, so type into the charts. I would like to know, which career path are you interested in? Type into the charts and let me see. Are you interested in cybersecurity, data engineering, financial analytics? Which of the career paths are you interested in getting into? Mavis says data analysis. Lawrence says cybersecurity. Salome, data analytics, financial analytics, data science. Absolutely fantastic. Project management. Agogomena says financial analyst. Data analyst from Mr. Sulaiman. Oluwafemi, business analyst. Now, the beauty is, as a data analyst, I don't always have to look for jobs in data as a data analyst. There are so many other areas within that same space. I can get a job as a business intelligence analyst. I can get a job as a database analyst, database administrators. In Canada, for example, you would not typically see the data analyst role. You'd see the database administrator, the database analyst, and that's the way the title is coined. All right? You can get a job as a sales analyst, market analyst. As a data scientist, you don't just have to get a job as a data scientist. You can get a job as a forecasting analyst, a computer vision engineer, a data scientist, a demand planner, and so on and so forth. And these are the things we show you, we open you up to, so that you get to realize that there are numerous other job pathways within that particular job title. As an agile project manager, for example, you can get a job as a scrum master, an agile coach, an agile project manager. And looking at myself as an example, I've worked as a data analyst, as an MIS analyst, MIS, okay? Management Information Systems Analyst. But guess what? It's 100% data analyst role. I've worked as a business data analyst. I've worked as a data engineer. Now, understanding that some roles have multiple variations depending on how the organization wants to coin that particular job role. So we open you up to this. So when applying to jobs, you don't search for just one broad job title. You have numerous job titles you can search for. So as a data engineer, you're not just applying to jobs as a data engineer. You're also applying to jobs as a cloud engineer, a GCP cloud engineer, for example, a BI engineer, BI developer, analytics engineer, ETL developer, and so on and so forth. Very, very important. Okay, so I've seen the feedback. A lot of you, data analytics, data science, HR analytics, project manager, and so on and so forth. Fantastic. Now, where do you apply to get these jobs? Where do you apply? So I'm going to take you through the different regions from the US, we'll go to Canada, we'll go to the UK, and so on. I would have loved to show you as much as I can because this session alone is a 3-day session, okay? But I'm going to try as much as I can to compress it into the next few minutes, and you know exactly what to do leaving this class today. So if you're in the US, you start to approach the job application process a bit differently. If you're in Canada, if you're also in the UK, okay? So now let's move. Where do you apply? So I'll show you some popular job sites that you can have access to today for free. But I'll tell you that the best opportunities are in the job sites that are paid, okay? Where you have the paid service, you have to pay for the platform. That's where you get the best opportunities. Now, what we do at Analytics is we pay to these platforms. We pay for subscriptions. And then the jobs posted there every single day, we post these jobs to our participants and our students. So you have access to those jobs for free. You can apply to those jobs. For example, Visa Jobs HQ. We have a subscription to this platform. Jobright as well, and of course the UK visa jobs and so many other ones not listed here. These are just some of the jobs you can take advantage of, the job sites, the job boards. I didn't want to put as many paid job boards right here because you want to get access to them for free and try your hands on them. Okay, but the best opportunities that we've seen, they come from these paid websites because the jobs you have posted there, most of the time you'd not find them anywhere else. Okay, so let's go to the US and let's look very quickly into the H1B info and then Jobright. So I'll take you here and I'll take you here. Now, for those of you that don't know Jobright, I bet you at the end of today's session, this is my gift to you in the year 2024. Okay, this is my gift to you. If you use Jobright the right way, you have the skills, you've learned the skills, you are in the US, you have Jobright. There is no reason why you shouldn't get a job. Okay, you have an interview, you have Analytics, for example, to prepare you for that interview. There is no reason under the sun why you should not get a job. And I'll show you why that's the case. But let's go to H1B info first of all, and let's see what the platform looks like. How do you leverage the platform? And then we'll come back to Jobright. Okay, so we're going practical. Remember, we are just in the first phase of the 6-step pyramid, identifying the right job. So for those of you that said data analytics, data science, HR analytics, financial analytics, you selected a career path because you know that these are the career paths that are in demand. They are, growing in demand year on year, and they would remain relevant. So you want to get into those areas. But where do you apply to jobs? How do you find the jobs? So let's go to H1B info. I'll tell you that H1B info sometimes can be very slow. So if for any reason you are trying to access it yourself and it's a bit slow, don't fret. Keep on refreshing. Sometimes because of the server traffic, it breaks down when searching. Just refresh, don't stop, don't fret, and you'd have it pop up eventually. Okay. So now going to the H1B info, you'd see where the organizations, the companies, the job roles where petitions for sponsorship have been filed. So if you want to get a job that would give you that work permit to work in the US, there are specific job roles that always get approved. And you want to be there, you want to be a part of that. There are also organizations that would easily petition for a H1B visa for you to work for them in the organization. So you want to know those organizations. You also want to know the job roles. If you scroll down a little bit, you'd see the top H1B sponsors, 2024, the top H1B jobs, 2024, the top H1B cities, 2024. Okay, something interesting I want you to look at very quickly. Okay, so here you have Ernst & Young, You have Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Tata Consulting Services. Interestingly, Tata Consulting Services is also a major sponsor in the UK as well, not just in the US now. Cognizant is also across the US and in the UK. We have alumni, about 2 alumni working with Cognizant in the UK. Meta Platforms, Intel, and so on. You can click on View All, and it shows you all the top H1B sponsors. You can go to the jobs. You see the jobs. Software engineers seems to be the top. Software developer, senior software engineer, assistant professor, architects, data engineers, data scientists, and so on and so forth. But I want to see more jobs. So I click on View All. Okay, so this would show me all the jobs in 2024 so far, where organizations have petitioned for a H1B visa. Okay, but let's go to 2023 because 2024 is 9 months. The data is not entirely complete. I'll go to 2023. So that gives me some clarity into the total number of H1B visas that these organizations petitioned for and the job roles eventually. So you have software engineer clearly leading the pack. And that's why I told you software engineering is a great career path. I wanted to become a software engineer 10 years ago, but I realized it was going to take me a minimum of a year to dedicate my life for an entire year to learning a skill. I didn't have 1 year. I wanted to transition into a career path where I could learn the skill, get so good at using the skill, practice every single day for 4 to 5 months, apply to jobs and get a job. Okay. And that was why I looked at jobs like the data science career path. Okay. Sorry, yes, the data engineering career path. You'd see that right there. The data scientist career path, you'd also see that there. The analyst, but this has not been properly classified. So you have so many different, analyst jobs, data analyst, financial analyst, and so on and so forth. You'd see the product manager. Okay. You'd see, if we go to the next page, you'd see the project manager, business analyst, project manager, and so on and so forth. So this shows you the jobs, the job title organizations are petitioning for the H1B visa. So if you want to get this opportunity, it's very clear what you need to do. All right? Go for those jobs that are in high demand. Go for those jobs that are in high demand. So now let's do a very quick, search. Let's go back to the homepage. And I want to do a quick search for a data analyst role. I want to become a data analyst. I want to apply to jobs as a data analyst in the US, and I want to be sure that I can get a H1B visa, an organization to sponsor me because it's one of the job roles that can easily get sponsored. So I come into job title, I can leave it on all years, or you can filter based on 2024, 2023, but I'm just going to use 2024 or all years, okay? Come here, type data analyst. Okay, I type data analyst. You can enter the employer name if you want to, or you can leave it blank. Enter the employer city as well. But I'm just going to click on search. So sometimes when you do this and you search, it could take a while. All right, like I said earlier, the H1B info website can be slow, but okay, it decided to be fast today. So here you start to see the job title. You start to see the companies that have also filed. Okay, the job titles, you see the company, and so on and so forth. Okay, now all you need to do, there are 2 things you can easily do from here. Number 1 is you take the name of that company, you go to the website, and you try to look for the other jobs they have available for that role. That's number 1. Or you can take it to LinkedIn, search for the company on LinkedIn to find the jobs they have available. I'm just going to pick one company right here. Okay, I'll pick the XI Subtech Incorporated. If I click on that, here you would see different jobs. This particular organization have done what? They've gotten H1B, they've petitioned and filed for H1B visas for the Salesforce administrator, developer, the data analyst, QA tester, software engineer, software developer, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you can take the name of this company, go to Google and type XI, okay, Soft Tech Incorporated. You can search for them. And one thing you would find is XL Soft Tech, not XI. XL Soft Tech is an IT staffing and sourcing agency. So this is a recruitment agency essentially. That's what they do. So they help people apply to jobs, get those jobs. Organizations reach out to them to get professionals within specific job functions and job roles. Okay, so if there is staffing agency, you want to get into this you want to get into this agency and call them up. You can search for their contact details. Okay, so XL Softtech Incorporated contact details. You can do that over Google, all right? And you get to see what their contact information is, give them a call. This is a recruitment agency and you want to work with them. So you send your profile to them, you upload your CV and so on and so forth. Or you can do that on their website. That's one route to go. Another route is you go to the organization. Okay, so if I go back to the home tab, right here, you have so many companies that sponsor. I'm interested in Meta platforms. So I click on Meta platforms. That's, the maker of your Facebook and the rest, Instagram and all of that. So you have the data engineer, production engineer, machine learning engineer, software engineer, and so on and so forth. Let's say I want to become a data engineer, for example, and I want to apply to jobs in Meta platform. Every Analytics alumni is confident enough to do what? Apply to jobs in any organization. It doesn't matter the organization, because that's the type of confidence we instill in them. You don't be scared, apply to those jobs, okay? And you will get the opportunity. Now, for those of you on the call, you want to get a recording from today's session. You also want the slides. I'm going to share the slides, all the links I have in here. Ensure you fill the attendance form. Take out time, fill the attendance form so that you get all the materials I'll be sharing with you today. So I want to check Meta platforms and see what they have to offer. Same way, I go back to Google and I type Meta platforms. Okay, jobs. Okay, Meta platform jobs. And I want to see job openings. I open up the website. Remember, you can also do this. Do this on LinkedIn, not just on Google. So I go to Meta platform job website, and easily I can see the different job roles available. And I can even come here to filter. When you go to what type of work do you want to do, area of work, see more, all right? I want to work within data and analytics. I want to work within the data center space. I click on that as well. You can scroll all the way down, security, software engineering, and all of that. So, and you start to look at the job available, one after the other. So you have data scientist, product analytics, data scientist, product. Let's check this role first of all, data scientist, product analytics. Okay, and let's see what it entails, and let's see if it's something we can apply to. All right, I always love to go to the minimum qualifications. Okay, minimum qualifications. Now, I want you to bear something in mind, which is a misconception a lot of people have. Oh, I must have done one particular type of, certification. I must have done this. I must have done that. All right. Remember, these organizations are smarter than that. And they know that to work as a data scientist, you don't need a certification. You need to know how to do the job. That's the most important thing. So you look at the qualifications and you would never find anything that looks like certification. Okay, now, bachelor's degree or its equivalent in practical experience. Okay, if you don't have a bachelor's degree in any relevant technical field, you must have its equivalent in what? Experience. A minimum of 2 years work experience in analytics, you can apply. Or if you have 1 year, with a PhD, you can apply. If you have minimum of 2 years experience in analytics, go ahead and apply. And I want to speak about this a little bit before I move on. For some people, they would say, oh, I've just learned the skill over the last 5 months. How do I apply to a job that requires 2 years? And I'll take you back to what I said earlier, which is what? Tailoring your previous experience. So now you've learned the skills as a data scientist. You know Python, you can build machine learning models, you can use different algorithms to build your models, SVM, linear regression. You know how to use all of that. You'd go back and tailor your previous experience to have a flavor of data science achievements and responsibilities. Very, very important. And this is where you also double down on the skills you've learned. You are dedicating the next 4 months of your career, of your life, to learning these skills, practicing, working on projects, so you are good with the use of those skills. What else do you need? Experience with data query languages like SQL, structured query language. You get to learn this. And when you look at the curriculum, take note of these technologies. You get to see them in the curriculum of the data scientist. So you see that it's not, what they want from you is not unbelievable. These are normal technologies, all right? Scripting languages, e.g. Python. So you must know how to use Python as a scripting language, or R. Either you learn Python or learn R. And if anybody asks me, I'll tell you, always go for Python over R. Python is more comprehensive. Python is more robust than R. R is more academic and used for research. So SQL, Python, and that's it. Mathematical statistical software like R. I just told you, R is pretty much a statistical software. Okay, so SQL, Python, these are the core skills you need to learn. And they're saying you must have completed your degree before joining Meta. So all you need is a bachelor's degree. You don't need to have anything extraordinary. Looking at what you have here. Now, the salary is about 114 to 171 and so on. And there's so many other job openings, data engineering, data scientist monetization. And this is just looking at one organization, okay? And like I said, the best way to use the H1B info is to check different job roles, look at the companies, go to the company's website, go to LinkedIn and check the jobs they have available. These are the companies you want to get into. You don't want to get into anyhow company that cannot sponsor or petition for a H1B visa. Very, very important. Now, to the main tool we're going to use today, Jobright. I want everybody at the end of today, if you're in the US, you need to be on Jobright, okay? Why should you be on Jobright? And I'll show you exactly how to leverage Jobright to get in the job. I'll show you how to leverage Jobright. So I'm going to log into my own account. Just give me 1 second to do that. And I'll show you exactly what you need to do. Jobright gives you all the access you need, all the opportunities you need. And having the right people to work with you, like I said, there is no reason under the sun why you shouldn't get a job. Okay. So I'm going to click on the Jobright website, jobright.ai. It takes you to this platform. When you start subscribing or signing up to Jobright, you're going to see something that looks like this. And I want you to take notes. Don't make a mistake, although you can change it afterwards, but don't make the mistake of excluding this aspect. So when you're filling data analyst, what type of job, you want to choose full-time, because these are the jobs that usually come with sponsorship. Full-time job, select your location within the US, but you're also open to remote opportunities. Then select the H1B sponsorship. Very important, okay? The H1B sponsorship. So make sure you select this. Go back to Jobright. Jobright would say, upload your resume, the CV you want to use to search for jobs. You can always change it. So when you have a job to apply to, gone are the days where you take one CV, apply to 100 jobs. You don't do that anymore. Okay. So you want to apply to a job as a data analyst. You tweak your CV, work on that CV, upload the CV to Jobright. Okay. So while you are setting it up, you'd see all the, here you have the resume. Okay. You have your resume, your CV, and all of that. You come to jobs, and this is where you search for the type of jobs you're looking for. Jobright would match you, and every single day you get recommendations based on the match to your CV. So you see this right-hand side over here, 70% match, 65% match, 73% match, 61%, 49%, 80%, and so on and so forth. You'd see the match, how much or how well you match to this job. And you can always change the job roles you're applying to. So now this says, I think the job I listed here is data science, okay? So I can come in here and type, I want to apply, just like you type in, into ChatGPT, I want to apply to data, let's say data engineering roles, okay? Data engineer roles. And I hit that. You'd see Jobright to tell you, okay, you want to change your job title from business analyst, data scientist to what? Data engineer. I'll click on go. And immediately you start to see jobs that align to data engineering. Now, for the recommendations they are giving to me, you'd see head of data engineering, senior director, and so on and so forth. So the reason why you are seeing senior roles is simply because of the number of years of experience and things like that. Okay. Now, I want to show you one thing. So once you see the match, this is 76%. So I want to see the reason why, and this is also H1B sponsored. Clearly, you can see that, right? So I'm going to click on this particular job. It brings me here, and you would see, so this was posted 5 days ago. It's still pretty recent. So you want to go ahead and apply. For this job, less than 25 people have applied. So meaning that if you apply, you get amazing opportunities to get the job. Okay. Now, you look at the percentage match. The total is 76. Experience, you have 93. So you're good to go. Skill, you have 69%. So you have issues with the skills, the skill part of your CV. So I'll show you how to check where to go make adjustments. Here you also have industry experience. You want to make changes. So you are able to increase this match to about 90%, 85%, because that's where you get the opportunity. All right, that's where you get the opportunity. Flora, I'm going to respond to all the questions you have in the chat. Okay, so you see the qualifications, what you need to know, Python, expert at SQL, and all of that. Okay, now, if you want to maximize your interview chances, you come in here and generate a custom resume. Because you've seen that you have some gaps, 69% skills, 60% industry experience, generate custom resume, and you start to see where the issues are. Okay, the job title, you haven't listed anything data engineering in your job title. Years of experience, this is 10 years. Like I said, the years of experience match is also based on what you have on your CV. So if you want to get specific type of job experience, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you want to tailor that CV in line with that. Industry experience, skills, you have 9 out of 15. So you want to add the other ones, ETL, AWS, analytics, project structuring. You don't have this on your CV, include them. Your job summary, you don't have, your summary does not effectively showcase the qualifications for this job. And you can then go ahead and do what? Begin improvements. So when applying to jobs, like I said, you have to be very strategic about it. Look for the companies that can sponsor. Look for data that shows that they have petitioned for that H1B visa and you're in a career path where employers have gone out of their way to do what? Petition for those visas for their employees. All right. So that's very key. Like I said, Jobright does a fantastic job for you. You can also go to the company. You can see, details of the company. For some of them, you'd also get to see the hiring manager and the link to the LinkedIn profile. I'm not sure this is here. You don't have it here, but some of them you'd find the fact that you have the hiring manager, maybe the COO, you'd have their LinkedIn profile right here. You can look at them, you can send them messages, follow up, and things like that. Okay, so you can see this here, H1B sponsored, and you want to apply to these type of jobs, not just any type of job. Now, because of time, because we still need to look at Canada, we still need to look at the UK. I'm not going to spend any more time, on the US. I want everybody, like I said, leverage H1B1 info and also Jobright, and this gives you amazing opportunities. Visa Door is also a fantastic platform. It's very similar to H1B1, but H1B1 is more updated. Okay, it's more up to date compared to Visa Door. All right. Before I move on to Canada, okay, before I move on to Canada, I want to see in the chat, if you're having an amazing time, you are learning something new, type a yes into the chat before we move on. If you're having an amazing time, type in a yes into the chat. Fantastic. Oscar Okore, thanks for that. Flora, Prince, Dr. Morgan, Lola, Adiola, absolutely phenomenal. Now let's move to Canada. The strategy is pretty much similar, okay? Visa Jobs Info would give you access to visa-sponsored jobs across multiple regions, the US, Canada, the UK. Okay, so it's a paid platform. This is paid. For Jobright, you can use it for free to do certain things. But when you start using it to tweak your CV, custom resume and all of that, you'd run out of credits and you need to buy credits to do that. So there's a paid portion to Jobright. So Jobright, a part of it is paid. UK Visa Jobs is also paid. But like I said, what we've done is we subscribe to these platforms. So you have access to these opportunities without you needing to subscribe personally. Okay, now let's go to Canada. Similar strategies in a different way. You want to look for jobs that are on the LMIA, that have been LMIAs have been what? Approved for those type of jobs. Which organizations have filed for an LMIA? And what's an LMIA? It's a labor market impact assessment. Labor market impact assessment. And what does this say? The organization would have to prove to the government that hiring you, either from your home country, bringing you into Canada, or hiring you in Canada as a temporary, as somebody with an open work permit, okay, a temporary open work permit, and convert you into a full work visa, they need to prove to the government that it would have no negative impact on the job market when it comes to hiring a Canadian or a permanent resident for a similar role. So it would either have a positive impact hiring you or a neutral impact, meaning that it is neither positive nor negative. So the organization must prove that it is positive to hire you, bringing you into the job market because of your unique skills, or it is neutral. So if the LMIA indicates that it's a negative, it has a negative impact, then you're not going to get approved for that particular job. So how do you apply to jobs? You want to look for the LMIA list. Okay, it's available online on the Canada government website, but I've also kept the link right here. So what you want to do is get this link. I'm going to click on it. It takes us to the website. Get the link. Temporary Foreign Worker Program, Positive Labor Market Assessment Employers List. You want to get this list. Scroll all the way down. So this is from 2014. So scroll all the way to the bottom, okay, where you have 2024. So scroll all the way to the bottom. Look for where you have Q1 2024. Okay, so this is English. The one at the bottom is French. So we want the English version. So I'm going to click on this. It takes me into where I can download. It's an Excel file you want to download. So I come in here, I click on download. Okay, it will download the file for me right there. I can go ahead and open up the file. Just click on that. It would open up into an Excel file with all the lists of employers that have a positive or have gotten a positive LMIA. Okay, so let me drag this to the screen so you can see what the list looks like. So you have the province, the program stream, the employer, the address, the occupation with the NOC code. You have the incorporation status, the approved LMIAs, the approved number of positions, and so on and so forth. Okay, so what I'm simply going to do is to insert a filter because I want to see the specific jobs. I want to search for specific jobs, see the number of LMIAs, and also get to see the number of approved positions. So I click on occupation. I go to sort and filter, and I click on what? Filter. So add a filter for me right there. I click on the filter and I want to sort. But before I sort, I'm going to type in the job role I need to look for. Okay, so let's check. Let's type data analyst. And I want you to remember this because I said it before. In Canada specifically, you won't really see data analyst, business intelligence analyst. You'd find them, but not as common as you'd find in the US and in the UK. Okay, so you'd have database analyst, which is an old nomenclature to use, and not very trendy, but I mean, that's what you have here in Canada. So database analysts, database administrators, that's what you typically find right here. So I want to check for this, okay? So I'm going to deselect and select only the database analysts, data administrators, and click on OK. So this would bring up all the different, organizations, the province, that have, gotten positive LMIAs for this particular job role. All right. I'm going to do something. I'll filter very quickly, filter from the largest to the smallest. So I'll come in here, click on the drop down, filter, sort from the largest to smallest. So you have 2 approved LMIAs in the first quarter 2024 for this organization called Altin Canada. It's in Montreal, Quebec. So 2 approved positions. Let's check them out and see. Do they have other opportunities? Do I want to move to Quebec? Do I want to stay wherever I am? I'm currently in, maybe you're in Alberta or in any other province. Do you want to get a job in Quebec? Let's see if they have more job roles available. So I'm going to take this organization, Altin Canada Incorporated, and I'll go to LinkedIn. Let's go to LinkedIn and search for them and see. So I go to LinkedIn. Okay, and I'm going to search for that organization called Altin. Altin. So let's see, let's click on that. Altin company, IT services, IT consulting. I click on that. It takes me to the company, but what do I want to see from them? So let's click to see their profile. I click on the company, it takes me to their profile, but I want to see the jobs. Okay, I want to see the jobs available. So I click on jobs. So Alton currently has 2,881 job openings. Find the ones near you. So you can type in your search right here, or right at the bottom, you can see the jobs they have available. Okay, junior business analyst in Milan, Italy. This is in French, but this is a Power BI developer role, posted 3 days ago. I want to see all the jobs they have available. So I'll click on show all jobs. All right, show all jobs, and it takes me. And because Alton is not just in one, country, like I can see here, you have in Spain, you have in Italy, Canada. Okay, so this is in Montreal. Now, remember that we have seen the fact that Alton, they've gotten positive LMIA for this role, database administrator, database analyst. As a data analyst, if you remember, you can get a job as a business intelligence analyst, a business developer. All right. So I'll click on this Montreal. Let's see what the job role looks like. It was posted about 3 days ago or thereabouts. So this is in French anyways. This is SQL and DAX. But let's see if there's an English. Yes, so you have, okay, no, there's no English. Okay, there's English at the bottom, all right? So you can see the responsibilities. You can see the skills required. Let's see what it entails. What do you need to learn? They are looking for Power BI developers with experience, soft skills, autonomy, initiative, hard work, bachelor's degree with 4 years experience in analysis, 3 years experience with Power BI development using Power BI, good communication skills. Okay, so remember this. And for those of you that have joined a previous masterclass, I've said this numerous times. A business intelligence analyst is a data analyst that focuses on Power BI, business BI, and what? SQL, structured query language. And that's pretty much what you'd see here. Okay, SQL, which is for your databases, your data warehousing, and your DAX for Power BI. All right. So you see that written here clearly. And I want you to take note of these different tools and technologies, because we'll look at them eventually. So they have numerous other jobs, but you want to look for the ones specific to your region. You'll do the same. It's a painstaking exercise of checking for the company, searching for them, checking the jobs available, and applying. But that's what you must do to get access to opportunities that are not, readily available to everybody. Now, while this is on the internet, few people would go through the stress, the pain of doing this. So for those of you that take out time every single day, you spend 1 hour, 2 hours or more applying to jobs strategically, those are the people you'd see getting those jobs. And you keep on wondering, oh, this person just came into Canada, 1 month, 2 months, got a job. How are they doing it? It seems like magic. This is what they're doing. So when we show somebody like Busola Adesanya, who came into Canada, joined our program in March, completed the program in July, and started a job that same July. You wonder how she did it. And this is how she did it. Okay, so you go to the next company, Momentum, look out for that company, look for the jobs they have available, and keep on doing what? Applying to those available jobs. That's how you get it done. You come to the job of occupation, search for the job you are looking for, and bring up the companies that have filed LMIA. Look for them on LinkedIn. If you don't find them on LinkedIn, look for them on Google. Go into the company, look for the jobs they have available, and go ahead and apply. All right. Now, another very interesting way you want to check, which is not as robust anyway, is still the Government of Canada website, the Job Bank. So if I click on the Job Bank, this is where you have numerous jobs. They've made it a bit easy for you. You want to get access to jobs from Canadian employers who want to recruit temporary foreign workers, and these employers have already obtained or applied for a labor market impact assessment. You can go to search, 15,600 jobs available, search for the job role. Now, when searching, it's important for you to note that the Canadian job nomenclature, the NOC codes, the Canadian job nomenclature is a bit different. Like I showed you earlier, the data analyst is the database administrator, the database analyst. So you want to be careful when searching for those roles. So you have access to numerous jobs right here, and you can go ahead and apply. Okay, so this is how you want to do it outside the conventional website you are used to. Okay, you are used to Indeed, you are used to Total Jobs, ZipRecruiter, Glassdoor. Go ahead, use those platforms, but you want to do this strategically. One other thing in Canada before I go to the UK finally is you want to reach out to recruitment agencies. They'll give you the LMIA as fast as possible. You don't have to be in Canada to do this anyways. You can be in Nigeria and get a job in Nigeria. We have a participant who moved to Canada. That was in the month of, I think that was in April or May, and she got a job from Nigeria, got a job with the CRA, the Canadian Revenue Agency, and she currently works with them as a financial analyst. And she got a job in Nigeria, moved to Canada, leveraging recruitment agencies. Okay, so you want to search for these recruitment agencies. These are the ones that will give you access to those opportunities. Michael Page, Island Recruiting, Global Hire, Hayes, Outpost, Work Global, and Cowan International. Search for these recruitment agencies. Go to their websites, all right? Create a profile on their website and always follow up with a call. All right, follow up with a phone call and let them know you've created a profile. You are looking for this opportunity. These are your skills. They'll go ahead and reach out to you when those opportunities become available. All right, they want you just as much as you want them. You're trying to get a job and you think, oh, I have to do all the work. They are looking for you as well. So make yourself easy to find. Make yourself readily available. So you want to do what? Create a profile, upload your CV. Most of them on their website, you can do this and follow up with a phone call. Let them know what you're trying to look for and you will start to get those opportunities. Now let's move to the UK. The UK is one of my best because I think apart from the US, the UK has the most, has the highest number of job resources, where to apply, sponsored jobs availability, and so on and so forth. So the job of the Visa Jobs HQ is paid. You really can't get access to the type of jobs you want to get if you haven't made payments. You need to upload your CV, you need to do a lot of things, you need to pay, all right? UK Visa Jobs is also paid, but I'll show you how to utilize it and how we utilize it at Analytics. It's a fantastic platform for applying to jobs. All right, let's go to the UK Visa Jobs and let's see how you can leverage this when applying to jobs. And then I'll show you the NHS as well. I'll show you the NHS, how to leverage the NHS. We currently have about 55 participants. It used to be 54. One other person got a job with the NHS. We have 55 Analytics alumni working with the NHS. And remember, if you want to get the slides, the recording to this session, access to all the materials, the links I'm using today, fill the attendance form and you will get access to all the materials. Now, going to UK Visa Jobs, like I said, you need to be subscribed. So if you look at this, I'm currently logged in, okay? If you go to jobs or before you click on jobs, you are a step closer to achieving your dream. Apply for students, graduates, and experienced higher jobs with visa sponsorship in the United Kingdom. So the jobs you find on UK Visa Jobs comes with sponsorship. There's really no comprehensive platform that gives you this type of access. There used to be one, but for some reason they shut down. I'm not sure why. That used to be UK Hired. So let's check them out quickly. UK Hired. I'm not sure they're still up. I'm not sure they really still have a lot of jobs. The last time I checked. Okay. So let's see if they have jobs in data science. So you can see they don't really have jobs as much anymore. So this is UK Hired. They used to be comprehensive. I don't know what happened to them, but they're no longer operational now. And that's where you have UK Visa Jobs. You want to leverage this. So if you click on jobs, it takes you to where you can search and start to look for jobs, okay? It takes a few seconds for it to come up, but we'll just wait for it to launch. Whoops, sorry. So we wait for it to launch. Yep, so it's up now. So you'd see that you have 12,530 roles. 12,530 roles. And you can break them down based on different job types: graduate, internship, placement, and so on, experience hire jobs, entry level, associate, and so on and so forth. Okay, now let's just search for a few jobs and see what pops up. So let's search for, say, the data engineer. All right, I search for the data engineering role. I have 19 roles that are sponsored at the moment on UK visa jobs. Okay, so you want to look at the job roles. Some of them would have the salary indicated, some might not. And you want to look at the ones you can apply to and go ahead and apply. So you have a senior data engineer role, you have a data engineer with Virgin, you have senior consultant data engineering with Ernst & Young, but this is in Belfast. Data engineer with James Street, and so on and so forth. Capital One, data, distinguished engineer, data engineering. So you can click on any of these jobs. All right, click on any of them. It takes you to the website where you can go ahead and apply. All right, where you can go ahead and apply. So because you don't have access, what we do every Mondays and Wednesdays, we get these jobs. And for those who are registered in data engineering, we send the job openings to them. So you just come in here, you go ahead, you see the job details, you see the requirements, and you are able to apply to get this job. All right. So for your preparation, your interview prep and all of that, we do that for you to prepare you. So you go in there, getting the very best opportunity and also presenting yourself in the best way possible. All right. So this is the way the UK visa job works. You can search for more jobs. You can come in here, search for the business analyst. Okay. And you see different job roles with the NHS, patient IT business analyst, and so on and so forth. Okay. Goldman Sachs, M&G, Barclays, and you can keep on going on and on, searching for more roles and applying to these jobs. So there is no shortage of jobs available, but there is a shortage of the capacity in people to get those jobs. All right. So two major reasons why you have these jobs. Most of them, are left unfilled because you have people who are not applying to the jobs, number one. And number two, you have the people who are applying don't have the skills and don't represent themselves well during interviews to get these jobs eventually. And that's why you must look at these two key aspects to start, making that change when applying to jobs, so you get the very best results at the end of the day. All right. So this is how you search for different roles. You can search for the data scientist, data analysts, and so on and so forth. Okay. So you have 13 data science roles, graduate data scientists with Newton, and so on and so forth. Okay. And these are the jobs that come with visa sponsorship. Let's try this, graduate data scientist. Let's see what it looks like. All right. So it's in Sheffield. Qualification, they don't really even expect too much from you. All right. They don't expect much from you. Okay, but it's a graduate role, so they expect you to either be graduating recently, because it's a graduate role. So you can check other roles: data scientist, digital with Newton. What do they want you to have? Just like the one we saw at Meta Platforms, they want you to have experience using Python, okay, SQL or R. Okay, Python, SQL, or R. Like I said, if you can, don't waste your time with R, learn Python. Power BI, one data visualization tool. So you can learn either Click, Power BI, Tableau, and the rest. When it comes to data visualization, there is no superior to Microsoft's Power BI. You can learn Power BI before you decide to learn any other skill. Okay, as a data scientist, you also need to understand machine learning and statistics. Very important. So you can easily apply to this job once you've learned the skill. All right. Now, quickly, let's go to the NHS jobs, and I'll show you one more thing before we call it a day. So if you go to the NHS would not pay you that fantastic salary, but the NHS would sponsor you. And that's why you don't want to apply to just your nursing role, your healthcare roles, your care jobs, and the rest. You also want to apply to data analysts, business architects, project managers, and so on and so forth. Okay. So you come into the NHS website, search for jobs, go to search, and you enter the job title. You can specify the location and so on and so forth. But let's search for, let's say, the business analyst, for example, or the project manager role. Okay. Project manager, click on search, and you'd see numerous roles available. 14,143. The NHS is one of the largest recruiters when it comes to professionals and visa sponsorship as well. So this would close on the 2nd of October, project manager, 10th of October, 30th of September, that's a Monday. So you want to apply to these jobs, and you can see numerous roles. This is just page 2 out of 1,415. So you can look for the NHS trust close to you. We've had professionals who currently work with the NHS in a different capacity, but they were able to convert their roles into a different job eventually, and they still get sponsorship. So that's another question I always get. I'm currently on a health and care visa. If I get a job as a data analyst and that job comes with sponsorship, would the number of years spent on my health and care visa count towards my ILR? The answer is yes, it does. This is not an immigration advice. I'm not an immigration professional, but I tell you categorically that yes, it does apply. Okay, so you've done, 2 years on your health and care. You want to move into a new visa. It's still, you carry the 2 years forward to you eventually getting your indefinite leave to remain. So you can get organizations that offer you that sponsorship irrespective of what you currently do. Now, one important thing I also want you to take note of is you can't just get sponsorship with any type of job. So you search for project managers, you go to business, you can search for the business analyst, the data analyst, you'd find everything here with the NHS. Everything, you'd find them here. The business analyst jobs, how many? Let's see. This is page 2 out of 463 pages. So you're not going to run out of jobs to apply to. Business performance analyst, coding business analyst, senior business analyst data, business analyst, business analyst, business analyst. And the salaries are, pretty much okay, 46 to 52,000. The NHS, they don't pay the best, but they pay reasonable amounts, but it comes with sponsorship. That's what you want to focus on, okay? Now, you can't get sponsorship with any type of job. So when applying, you also want to be smart, all right? The Home Office made so many changes to the shortage occupation list. You used to have the shortage occupation list, same as at this time last year, the shortage occupation list was still operational, but it has been changed to the immigration salary list. Okay, now, if you want to get a job, there are specific job roles based on the codes where you can have access to those jobs that come with sponsorship or where you can get sponsored. And you want to take a look at that. Now, all the job roles I've listed today, the 8 of them that we offer, the data analyst, the data scientist, the business analyst, financial analyst, HR analyst, cybersecurity professional, agile project manager, the data engineer, they are all under the eligible occupations for the skilled worker visa. It's very important you know this, okay? So the skilled worker visa, the eligible occupations and their respective codes, you want to check them out. So you want to go through it step by step and you would see, but I'll take you to just a few and then we move into the last phase of our session today. So let's see, I think you have 213. Yes, so you have the IT project manager. All right. So these are your project managers within the tech ecosystem, your agile project managers, your scrum masters, and the rest. You have your IT managers. If you are a network operator, a data center manager, data visualization manager, a data visualization manager essentially is a data analyst. Okay. IT business analysts, architects, system designers, you have the business analyst computing, you have your data communications analyst, your change analyst, systems analyst, and so on. All right. You have your programmers, your software, you have your analysts, your database developers, your data analysts as well, your data scientists, they fall under this category. You have your cybersecurity professionals, and so on and so forth. Now, this would show you the eligible occupations. So if you just go get any type of job, you can't just get, sponsorship with those jobs. You have to know the specific job codes, which these are the things we also walk you through during your job, navigating the job market sessions. All right. You have so many strategies for the UK. Remember, I said in terms of resources, the UK is the best. You can check for companies that have sponsored in the past. Okay, I've kept the list for you right here. You can check the list of the sponsors and you get access to them. Okay, now we're going to move to another part of our session today. And getting the recording, going back, looking at the things I've shown you today, you would see a major change in the results that you get when you apply to jobs. And remember, for you to, so somebody saying show code for data analyst and data science. I think I did that already. So the job title sometimes determine the codes that you have to use. Okay, just start from 2131 and walk all the way down. 2131. Okay, and walk all the way down. Okay, IT project managers, IT manager, IT business analysts. Okay, so these are your business analysts, change management analysts, and so on. Programmers, software development professionals, your analysts, your programmers, your database developers. These are job roles categories. You can further break them down using the NOC occupational code. All right, but that's a different class for another day. Like I said, these are the things we do during navigating the job market session. If you do not know your job code, your job's occupation code, you can search for them using the occupational coding tool. All right. And this shows you for your job role, where does it fit in, and so on and so forth. Okay. Make sure you fill the attendance. All the information I'm sharing here today, Andy, the job, we can't do everything within the space of 2 hours. Okay, so we can't do all the countries in the world, but Visa Jobs HQ, okay, Visa Jobs HQ gives you access not just to the US, the UK, Canada. Visa Jobs HQ. Okay, if you go to Visa Jobs HQ, you have access to numerous jobs. All right. So if you can still see my screen, just to be sure, you'd see you have the US, the UK, Canada, Middle East, Europe, remote, Asia, and so many more. Now, this is a platform, like I said, to get the best out of Visa Jobs HQ, you must have subscription with them. We do have that subscription and we provide these resources to you so you can go ahead and apply to those jobs. All right. So I'm going to move to the next aspect. And like I was saying earlier, if these strategies I've shared with you today, you implement them and start using them, you'd see the changes when it comes to the opportunities you start to get, the interviews you start to get, the conversations around visa-sponsored jobs. Where people also falter and make mistakes is where they can't sell themselves during interviews. So you want to be prepared for your interviews. And that's why it's fantastic and good for you to work with mentors and people that can help you get into that room, sell yourself in the best way possible. Now, the concluding part of our session for today. You've identified your skill. This is Victoria. Victoria has identified the skills she wants to, learn. She's a customer service representative. She wants to become a tech talent, getting into one of the career paths. Remember, like I said, you must learn the skills. That's the first thing you must do. Learn the skills. If you don't have the skills of a data analyst, how do you apply to the numerous jobs available? And this is where we come in. You learn with us in a blended learning approach. Blended. You don't need to come to class every single day like you do during your master's, where you don't really learn much. All right? You come to class only on Saturdays. You have your classes on Saturdays, and on Sundays, that's where you have your live class on Saturdays. And on Sundays, you have your self-paced learning materials. You log into the LMS, you get to watch your videos, you get to practice on Sundays, Monday, Tuesday, anytime. So it's self-paced. And on Saturdays, you join a live session with somebody like me. I show you, we work on projects together, we solve problems depending on the program you've decided to join. So I'll give you a sneak peek of what it looks like before I move on to some other aspects. So at Analytics, you have an LMS, a structured learning platform. All right. And this is where this is the self-paced platform. Every single Sunday, Monday, depending on your own convenience, you come in here, you have an interview, for example. All you need to do is come to your interview preparation section, click on schedule appointments. It takes you to the program. So you have an interview where is it a data analytics interview, data science, click on data science, click on next, and you can schedule your session. So you can either get prepared by this professional. Okay, so I think this particular, click on this link, it takes you to the Calendly, which is where you get to what? Select the next available dates. There's an available date on the 1st of October, for example. I click on this, select a preferred time when I want to be prepared for my interview. I enter my name, I enter my email, and I enter the details of the job. I schedule the event, and somebody would meet with me to prepare me for my interview. So that's how you schedule your interview. You've gotten an offer, you need a reference letter. All you need to do is come in here, request a reference letter. Because organizations, when you have Analytics as part of your experience, which is what everybody would have to do, okay? So you have Analytics as your experience because employers want to see that you are currently on the job. You're not jobless. You didn't just go through a training. So when you join us, you don't join us as a student, you join us as a contractor or as a consultant. So that gives you some gravitas on your LinkedIn profile, on your CV, and makes you more attractive. It's called packaging to get the job. All right. So this is where you select the program you join. If you join business analysis, data analytics, financial analytics, you click on continue learning and you have access to your platform. Okay. So all the things you need to learn, you have them here. Every Sunday you come here, you watch your videos and you practice along. So this is a video on building your dashboard. You have week 0, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, all the way down to your entire business analysis program. So you can watch your videos right here. Okay, so this is where you're building your dashboard as a business analyst. Okay, so step by step, you watch the video, practice along, build your dashboard, and you have an amazing stuff to show for what you've been able to do. You have your Excel module. Once you are done with a specific part, at the end, you have an assessment to sort of test your level of understanding before you move to the next phase. So this is the learning management system. Here you also have access to mentorship sessions. If you click under here, you see the mentorship program. You select the program you've joined. So you only get to see the program you've joined. If you joined business analysis, you'd see business analysis. If you've joined financial, you'll see financial analytics. But because I'm an admin, I can see everything. So you click on business analysis. Let's assume that's what you've joined. You click on videos. you have interview preparation sessions where we brought in Karima. Karima, the lady who left Nigeria, she moved to Canada, getting a job. Okay, so she came back. We bring them back. We call them body mentors. They're your mentors. And they will tell you exactly what they did, what you should do, and how to get the same opportunities. Okay, salary negotiation. How do you do that? This is by Femena, the co-founder of Tenalytics, using the seat approach. Tell me about yourself. These are questions you would always get during interviews. So that's me right there, teaching you how to use the seat approach, where S means skills, E means experience, A means achievement, and T means your traits or your type of person. So I'll teach you what to do, how to prepare, how to introduce yourself with impact. So you leave that room with the recruiters knowing that if they don't hire you, they would have made a mistake. So you have all these sessions right here, LinkedIn optimization, and so on. So on your LMS, you have videos available at any point in time. And then you have your live session. Your live session is where you have a trainer, real time. You have somebody like me teaching you on a Saturday, and you have the opportunity to ask questions at any point in time. So let's go to the class that started this September, the data analytics. And I want to show you what their class looks like, so you have an idea of what the live sessions look like. So this is the platform for the live session. So every single Saturday, you have a live class. All right. So here you have employability session on elevating your Upwork profile. We'll teach you how to build a profile if you don't have one. If you have one, we show you how to optimize. So everything you find on this platform are live sessions. They happen live, real time. Okay. Mentorship session. I talked about the session I had on Thursday, the importance of building in public. So that's me right there teaching.
How are you doing today?
Sorry, teaching this Thursday that passed on what? The importance of building in public. So you have access to me. You have access to get taught by the best in the business, best in the industry, not people that learned on YouTube or people that wrote certifications to get the job, or people that do the job on a day-to-day. And that's the best person to learn from, because that's where you get the best opportunities. Okay, so you get access to this. This was a live session where people had the opportunity, practically went on LinkedIn. This is what you have to do, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is an example of your mentorship session. All right, now your live class. This class happened today, Excel Live Class 3. For any reason, if you miss a class, you have access to the class recording. So this happened today, early today. Today is a Saturday. They had their third Excel live class. So if you miss this class, for example, all you have to do is come to the class recording, click on the link, and you have access to watch everything that happened in class, step by step. What was done? How was it done? What questions were asked? How did they solve this problem? How did they solve that problem? And so on. So you don't miss anything at the end of the day. All right. The class materials are there for you, and you learn in a project-based environment. I'll come back and walk you through what a project-based environment means. And this is how you learn, by doing what? Learning in a self-paced environment where you have your LMS, you have all your materials ready for you, where you get to interact with your courses, your videos, you practice on your own, and then you have your live classes where you have a professional working with you, working on projects. Okay, now, once you've done this, the next step for you is to do what? Build a portfolio. Don't forget, gain experience and show proof that you have the experience. So it doesn't matter the program you join, you will be building a portfolio. Your portfolio is that showroom where people can walk into and see the quality of what you've done. So right here, you'd see, I've kept links to some portfolios for you to look at. So if I click on this, for example, this is a data analyst portfolio. Let's see what it looks like. This is Victoria. Okay. So you'd see what Victoria has built. You have access to the work Victoria has done. She's talked about it. This was the analysis she did for the emergency room department in a particular hospital. She gave recommendations that reduced the patient wait time by 15% and increased the customer rating, that's the patient's rating, satisfaction rate by what? 20%. So, but you can come in here and click to see what exactly she built. Okay, so this is a Tableau dashboard where you have access to everything she's built. You can see what Victoria Uchemadu has been able to do. You can interact with it. It is dynamic. If I deselect something, it affects the entire dashboard. It changes. I can click deselect and everything disappears. Anybody who looks at this would know how good Victoria is. Okay, and this is what you want to have. You don't want to just have on your CV and speak to convince people. You want to be able to show them. You have Redux Airline analysis with Excel, Tableau, Zenith Electronics using SQL, Power BI. So you can see the same skills we saw, the same tools and technologies when we were checking those job roles. All right, so this is Victoria. And, I kept links to some other portfolios. You can click on it, get access. This particular one is a business analysis portfolio built by Lemuel. All right, she worked on a canteen ordering system for Unilever. All right, you'd see projects for the Sunshine Resorts, British Airways, and these are the projects recruiters would see and get impressed and know how good you are. You're not convincing them or telling them, but you are showing them what you've been able to do. Very important. So this is your project-based experience. Once you've done that, you have your employability skills. I've talked about this so many times and how important it is. You need to have the right CV, the right LinkedIn, navigating the job market. What we've done today is a masterclass on navigating the job market. Okay, and these are the sessions you get during the 10 Analytics, once you're a part of 10 Analytics. Interview prep. I had an interview prep with somebody on Thursday. He had a phone call with a company on Friday, yesterday, and he wasn't sure what to expect. When a company sends you an email that they want to have a phone chat with you, what does it mean? He had no clue. They want to do two things. They want to do what? Create a profile for you. They want to know who you are beyond the paper, the CV they have. They want to create a profile for you, and they also want to see how well you fit into the role they want to bring you into. So we looked at it, we discussed it, and he left confident that he could get into the interview, the phone chat, and do an amazing job. Once you get an offer, recruiters want you to provide reference letters. We write reference letters for you. And once you've gotten the job and there's a project you face, you need support working on that particular project, we also work with you on that. Then you have your networking and your mentorship sessions. I think I showed you a little bit of the mentorship on the LMS, and your live session, the one I had on Thursday, where the focus for us was on what? Building in public. Mentorship happens every single Thursdays. Okay, and it is rotated based on the location. If you're in the UK, this week you'd have a time that fits your schedule. If you're in the US, Canada, the following week, we have a time that fits your schedule. So you have the opportunity to meet with industry leaders, with myself, with Efemena, the co-founder, and all professionals that will be working with you to ensure that you are able to get into the space, get your questions answered, and all of that. And at the end of the day, that's where you start to secure the job opportunities. I talked about the importance of community. This is Stephen. Stephen got a job with Hastings Direct in Glasgow, Scotland. He did his data analytics training with us. He got a job as a data analyst. He wanted to get a job as a data scientist. He came back to us and he completed our data science program. And he recently got a job about 2 months ago, if I'm correct, as a data scientist with Hastings Direct in Glasgow. The same organization were looking to hire 2 more professionals. And this is Stephen sending me a message. Hello, sir, it's Anointing Stephen. I want to say a very big thank you for providing me with a reference. Once I secure and start my offer, I would like to give insights and testimony in any of the mentorship sessions. Now, he got the job. Thank you very much. I'm still getting offers. And I don't know who I can recommend. If you have anybody who is solid enough, send them my way. I got people share their CV and they were able to secure the job. And that's the power of the Teralytics community. People share jobs, they work with you, prepare you for the interview, and you get the opportunity. This is a direct, clear story. I'm going to run you through what it takes to get into any of the programs, the duration, the fees, and how you can get started with us, our next cohort, and so on, and then we call it a day. Now, you want to get into business analysis. What do you need to learn? What skills and technologies must you learn before you can get into the space, apply to jobs, and get opportunities? You must learn your data skills. First of all, that's the first module. As a business analyst, you must know how to use Excel, Power BI, and SQL to handle data. Then you move into process mapping using tools like Lucid Charts and Draw.io. So how does a process start? How does it end? You need to map out the process using diagramming tools like Lucid Charts, Draw.io to process map. See how look for gaps and inefficiencies within the process. And that's where you recommend solutions to make the process more efficient. Project initiation planning. As a business analyst, you're going to manage projects because once you map out the process, you see inefficiencies. You recommend solutions to maybe build an application, buy an application to optimize that process. You will be the one to manage the project. So you manage the project, so you need to understand project management skills as a business analyst, project initiation planning, Agile and Scrum for projects, software development lifecycle. So these are the project management skills. Then you move to requirement fundamentals, elicitation, stakeholder analysis and engagement, ChatGPT for business analysis. Your learning timeline is for 4 months, 2 months in class, and 2 months internship. You're going to learn how to use Jira for your project tracking, excuse me, for your project tracking, to track project deliverables. You'd learn Confluence for collaboration, Trello to track project deliverables and your team members. Sorry, excuse me. I need to grab a cup of water. Sorry, guys, I needed to grab a cup of water. Please, apologies. I've been talking for almost 2 hours. I need to just, drink some water. Now you have classes tailored. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be in the US, you could be in Canada. There's a class that fits your time zone. Okay. You could be in the UK, Africa, you have a class that fits your time zone, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Canada and the US, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Time. On Sundays, you don't have a live class. You have your self-paced watch me do it videos. All right. You're going to learn Azure DevOps, Trello. You learn Jira for tracking project deliverables, Confluence for collaboration, and so on and so forth. So all the skills, we've looked at all of these. These are the things that would help you get that job. Compete for the best jobs available in the job market. And this is what it takes for you to become a business analyst. So you take a screenshot of this, and when people ask you, what does it take to become a business analyst? You clearly know exactly what you need to learn. All right. Now, how much should you be looking at depending on your location? If you're in the US, you're in Canada, you're in the UK. In the UK, about £52,500 per annum on the average. In Canada, about 74,000 Canadian dollars. In the US, about 85,000 US dollars. And this is the average. It could be more, it could be less, but this is the average. Most of the time, you'd see people getting a whole lot more than this. Now you have the data analyst, the data scientist, and the data engineer. The data engineer is the professional who does what? Provide the data. The data engineer provides the data. Without the data engineers, the data analysts, and the data scientists can't do their jobs. So the data engineer is very important. So the data engineers are the data providers. As a data analyst, for you to do your job, you must understand problem solving. How do you identify a problem? How do you approach the problem? How do you dissect problems into multiple parts? You need to understand Excel. How do you analyze data in Excel? Manage your data, use pivot tables, pivot charts, build dashboards, structured query language, SQL. For any data professional, you can't run away from SQL. Data analyst, data engineer, data scientist. If you remember, if I take you back to Meta Platforms, where we went to Meta Platforms, I don't know if I closed it or it's still open, but if it's still open, I'll show you. Okay, I think it's on the other browser. I'll show you. So we have a clear idea of what some of these things look like, okay? So this is the data scientist product analytics job. What are the key technologies you'd find there? SQL is one of them. Structured query language. SQL is very, very important. So even as a data analyst, you must understand SQL. Power BI, Tableau, data storytelling, ChatGPT for analytics, and Microsoft Fabric for analytics. These are the key skills you need to learn. Sorry about that, guys. I just seem to have developed a cough. I'm going to struggle to go through the rest of the session, but just please, apologies. I'm going to take water from time to time. I have my bottle of water right here, okay? So please, apologies, bear with me as I go through the session, okay? So now, the program is for 4 months, 3 months in class, 1 month internship. Similar structure, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. On Saturdays for those in the UK, for those in Africa, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for those in Canada, and for those in the US. On Sundays, you don't have a night class. The data scientist take notes of the skills. If you look at the Meta platform, if we go back there, you'd realize that Python is a key skill. SQL is a key skill. If you go to the curriculum, you would see Python programming, all right? And you'd also see SQL. In addition to other skills, machine learning, computer vision, statistics, forecasting and predictive analytics using Microsoft Excel, Tableau for data analytics, computer vision, version control with GitHub, AI for analytics using ChatGPT, and Microsoft Fabric for analytics. The program is for 4 months, just like the data analytics, 3 months in class, 1 month internship. Similar timing, Saturdays, Sundays you have your Watch Me Do It, self-paced classes. For the data engineering, you provide the data. You make the data available. So you must understand the foundation, the concept of data engineering. And that's why you start with introduction to data engineering. You'd also learn SQL, Python, Linux, ETL pipelines, getting data from databases, APIs, web scraping, Apache Spark and Airflow to automate your data pipeline for your data orchestration, data automation, AWS, GCP, and Azure. These are the 3 major cloud platforms, and you must know them as a data engineer: AWS, GCP, and Azure. Version control with GitHub and GitHub Copilot ChatGPT. The data engineering, unlike the other programs, this is for 5 months. 3 months in class, 2 months internship. Your internship is designed to help you work just as if you work in the office, simulate the real world experience so that you know exactly what to do when you get the job. The job is not gotten until you are able to convince those that would hire you that you've done it before. And that's why your portfolio is very important. The internship is also very important. Okay, your classes are on Saturdays, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. if you're in the UK, somewhere in Africa, similar time zones, 8 a.m. to 11 if you're in the US, Canada, Mountain Time. On Sundays, you have your self-paced class. This is for the data analyst, the scientist, and the data engineer. Salaries are also fantastic. Let's move to the HR analyst and the financial analyst. The financial analyst is a data analyst that works on financial data. The HR analyst is a data analyst that works on people data or HR data. Okay. I'll just love to confirm that you can all still hear me clearly. My voice is just a bit, is fading on me right now. Okay, but I'll try to go through the rest of the session. Yeah, I've drank a full bottle of water. That was very strange, but okay, so let's move on. As a financial analyst, you help the company take decisions that are financially related. How do we optimize costs? What type of investment should we make based on the objectives of the organization, the direction? How do we measure the financial health of the company, return on equity, return on investment, profitability metrics, and so on and so forth? If there are changes in the environment, inflation goes up, how does it affect our industry, our organization? All right. So you carry out sensitivity and scenario analysis. You're a data analyst, but the focus is on what? financial data. So you're going to learn problem solving. You're going to learn Excel, Power BI, and SQL, just like the data analyst. Then you would learn accounting fundamentals, financial analysis, financial modeling, valuation, sensitivity and scenario analysis, and ChatGPT for analytics. The structure of the class is pretty much similar to the data analytics. 4 months, 3 months in class, 1 month internship. Saturdays are for your live classes. Sundays are your self-paced class. The HR analytics, pretty much the same. Your first 4 programs are data-related skills. So just like the data analyst, you're learning problem solving, you're learning Excel, you're learning Power BI, you're learning SQL. Then you move to the core HR functions, HR analytics and performance evaluation, the HR metrics and life cycle, HR analysis and dashboarding, collaboration and report automation, building your pace and creating action, and ChatGPT for analytics. Pretty much similar structure. 4 months, 3 months in class, 1 month internship. UK, Europe, somewhere in Africa, similar time zones. If you're in the US or Canada, you have a time zone that fits your class. Sundays are self-paced. You watch your videos at your own convenience, at your own time. Going to the Agile Project Manager. Very interesting career path. You don't want to become the conventional project manager. You want to be the project manager that can apply to jobs in the tech ecosystem. And that's where Agile comes in. All right. So I'm going to learn introduction to project management, the project management skills and communication, the foundations of Agile. Agile is simply saying that if I need to if I need to build a product and I'm the project manager, and it's going to take me 1 year to build this project, to build this product, okay? What are the key features I can build within the space of 2 months? The minimum viable product, the MVP. Launch this particular product to the market. People can start using it. Based on the use from the customers, we get feedback. Based on the feedback, we improve the product. Release it again after another 2 to 3 months. So the release is what? Incremental. And as we release it incrementally, we are making the product a lot better. This is what the Agile approach preaches, different from the conventional project management. And that's why it's easier for you to get those opportunities. You understand the Scrum framework, the Scrum artifacts, advanced Scrum and Agile practices, the end-to-end use of Jira for tracking projects. You can't be a project manager without the understanding of Jira for your project tracking. Either you use Jira, you use Microsoft Project, you must have a project management tool. Jira is one of the best, and that's why we choose Jira. You'd learn Kanban because the Agile framework cuts across Lean, Scrum, and Kanban. Okay, so these are the frameworks under the Agile methodology, and you would learn the 3 of them. Okay, you also get to learn the Agile metrics for reporting, your velocity, burn-up, burn-down charts, Nexus Scaled Scrum, leadership in the Agile, and real-world application in the Agile framework. And we prepare you for the Professional Scrum Master certification. The program is for 4 months, 3 months in class, 1 month internship. Your classes are both on Saturdays and Sundays. So this is the only program we have that you have classes Saturdays, you have classes on Sundays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time on Saturdays, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sundays. You're going to learn how to use Confluence, Jira, and Trello. These are the major tools you would leverage working as an Agile project manager. And last but not the least is the cybersecurity professional. This is where you would learn, you'd work in an organization, helping them protect their systems, their network, and their data. You'd learn the introduction to cybersecurity, the foundation of computing and networking. Networking is the foundation of what? Cybersecurity. You'd learn information security principles, offensive and defensive cybersecurity, cryptography, network security, endpoints, cyber threat and attack vectors, web and application security, cloud security, incident response and forensics, and cybersecurity policies and compliance. You'd learn how to use tools to do what? Identify vulnerabilities within systems in the organization. You'd learn how to test your network using tools like VMware, Wireshark, Kali Linux, Metasploit, Splunk for your network testing, your network optimization, and so on and so forth. The program is for 4 months, 3 months in class, 1 month internship. Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. On Sundays, you have a self-paced class. You don't have a live class on Sundays. And these are the 8 programs. All the programs we looked at right at the beginning, the 8 of them, if you don't have both the technical skills and the employability skills, the job offer will be very difficult for you to get. And I dare say, as many mentees and people I've worked with, employability is still one of the most important. The best in the use of Python does not get the visa sponsorship. All the people I've shared with you today, they're not the best in that particular area, but they got the job. They got the sponsorship. Why? Because they had the right CV. They had the right LinkedIn profile. They know what to do. They know how to use the right keywords on their profile, because we will do that for you. Your LinkedIn optimization, show you what to do so you know how to tailor that to the jobs you are applying to. We show you how to navigate the job markets. We've given you this session for free. A lot of things, like I mentioned earlier, the use of Jobright, the use of UK visa jobs, that's my gift to you in 2024. And once you start using these tools, you understand how useful they would be to you securing those jobs eventually. Navigating the job market at Analytics is a full end-to-end session where we show you week in, week out where to apply. We send you the job links for you to go and apply to those type of jobs you are trying to get, the remote jobs, the visa sponsored jobs. And if you have an interview, we prepare you for your interview. Your reference letters when you get an offer so that you get into that organization. We provide you with the reference letters, on the job support. You have your weekly mentorship sessions every Thursdays. If you're in the UK, the first Thursday, you have your session. If you're in the US, Canada, with a different time zone, the following week, you have your own session. And everybody is welcome. You can join anytime at your own convenience. It's flexible for everyone. And then you have your Upwork optimization. So there are so many other success stories. I'll play one more video for you before we wrap up our session today. And that video is from somebody who recently got a job. Her name is Lois, fantastic lady. She completed the business analysis program, okay? And this is pretty instructive, and that's why I'm mentioning it. She completed the business analysis program, but she got a job as a project manager. And I want to ask you guys, tell me why you think she was able to get that job as a project manager, even though she completed the business analysis program. Just type into the chat. I would love to know, how can somebody get a project manager role when they've learned business analysis? Type into the chat. How is that even possible? So why do you think that happened? Let me know your thoughts. Transferable skills, fantastic. Transferable skills, that's absolutely brilliant. And let me show you how she was able to do it. So we worked with her, prepared her for the interview, okay? And the reason she was able to get that is simply because of this. Let's go back to business analysis and let me show you. As a business analyst, you're going to learn project initiation. You're going to learn Agile and Scrum for projects. You'd learn software development lifecycle. You see these skills, including the use of Jira to track project deliverables, Trello to track your project team members, and the task for each project, and also Confluence for collaboration on projects. These skills are enough for you to apply to get a project manager role. And that was what this lady did. Her name is Lois. She applied to the job. We prepared her, worked with her during her preparation, and she was able to secure the job. And I want you to listen to Lois. Before we go ahead, wrap up the session, I talk about what it takes for you to be a part of a Analytics program. Let's go ahead and listen to Lois. And you have the opportunity to listen to as many professionals as you want. Once you go to YouTube, all right, you have access, search for Analytics on YouTube, and you can see all the amazing stuff we've been doing over the last 4 years. But if you go on YouTube, click on the Analytics logo, it takes you to all the videos we have, all right? And I want you to listen to Lois. So let's go to Lois's video and let's listen to what Lois. Lois got this job recently, and she's going to talk to you how she was able to secure the job. So I want you to sit back and listen to Lois, and Lois can be very dramatic, okay? But you'd feel the excitement in her voice. So let's listen to Lois very quickly.
Hi guys, my name is Lois. I joined Analytics Business Analysis class in November 2023 with zero knowledge of BA, even though I was doing my master's at the time, which was focused on the management part of business analysis, not the techniques, tools, or even the requirements. I am so excited, as you can see, because guys, I just landed my first tech job as a project manager. Let me tell you a bit about my journey. So before I joined Analytics, I was an accountant and a procurement expert, so I didn't even know anything about tech. Analytics was my first exposure to core BA training, and I learned so much. Things like SDLC, requirement elicitation, process mapping, project initiation and planning. And even apart from the BA training, they also helped me to develop myself through a lot of mentorship sessions that built me up in interview preparation, LinkedIn optimization, a day in the life as a BA, job search strategy, CV optimization, negotiation like a pro, career transitioning. Guys, it was a lot of value. I also ensured that I was actively involved in class. I mean, who didn't know Lois in the cohort? But after my training, I waited to complete my master's because I couldn't work full-time while studying. I then had my career plan mapped out, and my first goal was to get a job in a student-focused role because of personal reasons, and then transition to be a project manager. I mean, BA and PM are so relatable, and there were more project management roles in my city. So immediately I finished my studies, I leveraged on the CV skill, the interview skills that I had been taught to land my first job in the university in a student-focused role. And guess what? 6 months later, exactly 6 months later, I landed this job I'm talking about now as a project manager, doubled the salary. So thank you, Analytics. I'm so happy to be in the tech space, and I encourage everyone that want to upskill, that want to have a refresher course to please do what? Join Analytics and be like me, because I mean, who doesn't want the money? Who doesn't want the skill? Who doesn't want to be in the tech space? So join Analytics.
I told you that Lois was very dramatic, but I mean, we were all super excited for Lois. This is somebody who moved to the UK, went for her master's, wanted to get a job in a specific area, and she was able to get this job. The next cohort starts on the 5th of October, 2024. All right. And for you to be a part of the cohorts, this takes me to the most amazing part. We have an amazing discount, 20% discount for the rest from now till Wednesday, for the first 20 people to register from today's session. The original fee for any of the program you want to join is $750. But with a 20% discount, you get to pay only $600. And you can make payments in multiple installments. So that's something new we have also implemented. All right, the multiple installment system. So how do you get access to this? All you need to do is click on the link. I'm going to show you how to walk through that very quickly. And then we'll probably take 1 or 2 questions if my voice allows me, and then wrap up our session. So once you click on this link, it takes you to where you can go ahead and make your payments, either a full-time one payment of $600, a 2 monthly installments of $300 first month, $300 the second month, or 3 installments of $200 each month. So let's take, for example, you select the $200 option. You select $200, 3 monthly payments, and proceed to pay. You get to pay $200 today, all right? Then a month after, on the 28th of October, you get to pay another $200, and you get to pay the third installment November 28th. So this makes it flexible for you to get started. All right. So it doesn't matter the currency you are paying in. If you are currently in the UK, you are currently in Switzerland, there's a gentleman joining from Switzerland, or you are currently in Ireland, Northern Ireland, it doesn't matter. Okay, wherever you are, Northern Ireland is in the UK anyways. If you are joining from anywhere across the globe, all you need to do is make payments using this link. You get debited in your local currency, all right? So $200 due today. 1 month after, on the 28th, you get to make the second payment. And the 28th of November, you make the third payment. So once you come in here, you've selected your 3 monthly installments, you click on proceed. You enter your name, enter your full name. I'm just going to type my name, Adeza Suleiman. You enter your email, all right? You enter your phone number, and you select when you want to start. The next cohort starts on the 5th of October. So you can select that. Now, for some people who want to start in November, but you have some commitments in October, so you can't start in October. You want to defer to November. You can simply do that by clicking 2nd of November. Okay, you click on pay for products, you get to make the payments, and you'd automatically get redirected to the form for you to complete your registration. Okay, so that's how you get into the program. Now, for those of you who maybe want to pay using different other methods, you can come in here and use the second link. So the best link for you, because this is the only way you can make payments in 1, 2, 3 installments. All right. You can't easily do that using the other payment options. So click on this link. It takes you to the payment center. All right. Select how you want to pay. 1 full-time payment, you can do that. $600 you pay once. 2 monthly payments of $300, or 3 monthly payments of $200, and you're able to get into the program. Okay, remember the discount is only for the first 20 people, number 1, and number 2, once we get to the first 20, so if we get to the first 20 this evening, the discount is off. Or on the 2nd of October, registration closes anyway. All right, so you want to be a part of this cohort. You are currently doing your master's, you're currently on your postgraduate work visa. You want to be a part of this cohort so you can start applying to jobs, start working with people that can help you, prepare you for that interview, and so on and so forth. This is the best time for you to start. Okay, I think I'm going to take a few questions before I leave today. And I'm also going to walk you through, I saw a question in the chat. So the access to the jobs, you want to get access to the jobs that are posted every single week. Okay, so if you go to your Google Classroom, all right, you'll see the job sites and roles you can apply to. Okay, so you'd see and get to see that. All right, so for those who would have joined, say, sometime around August or thereabouts, you'd also get to see that in your classroom as well. So let's just go there and I'll show you very quickly, and then let's take some questions before we leave here today. All right, so if you go to your classroom, okay, you'd also get to see the job tracker, job openings, and these are the job openings. If you click on that, you'd see the jobs that have been posted across different countries. The junior business analyst in Washington, business analyst, United States, and you'd see in different countries, not just in the US. You'd also see in the UK. You'd also get to see in Canada. And these are jobs, business analyst related, posted that you can apply to every single day. All right. So I'm going to take questions before we wrap up. But remember, the first 20 people get advantage of the discounts. Take advantage, be a part of the program, work with the best in the industry, and we will be looking forward to working with you. Now, for some of you, your questions would center around, I've worked in the banking industry. Adeza, you said I can, transform my previous career, add a flavor of my new career path. I've worked in the credits and loan disbursement department or unit, but now I want to become a data analyst, a cybersecurity analyst, a project manager. I need to convert my skills. You want to ask more questions outside our session today, you can do that, okay? Once you've completed payment, you've made payments for, say, the first installment, all right? You would get a link. The link would direct you to a form for you to fill to complete your registration. But I want to show you what that form looks like, all right? So that when you get there, you know exactly how to select a one-on-one session with myself, with a Femena, okay? So once you complete your payments, it's going to take you to a link. The link looks like this, all right? It's a form for you to complete your October registration. Fill the form, you enter your email, okay? So I'm just going to enter, right? You enter your email, click on next, you fill the form, keep on clicking on next. What type of payment did you make? I made an initial first installment. You click on next. I used the payment link, the installment payment link, click on next. Fill all these details, keep on clicking on next. I'm just going to fill this so you know exactly what you need to do. You're going to get to a point where you would see, I want to speak with a professional. So when you see that option that says, I want to speak with a professional, select it, and we will invite you for a one-on-one session, all right? But you want to do that taking into consideration that there is a limited slot for the discount available, okay? So the best thing you want to do is secure your slot, make the first installment, join the one-on-one session. We'll have one on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, until registration closes on Wednesday. So when did you make payments? I made payment today, 28th. Upload a screenshot of your payments. I'm just going to select any file, okay? Just so I can show you exactly what the process looks like, all right? So those are amazing professionals that have gotten jobs. You see them on my slide. What was the mode of payment? I paid using the main stack. All right, click on next. The name on the account, my name, Adeza Suleiman. Next. What program are you registering for? You know the program you want, you select it. Oh, I want cybersecurity, select. I want data engineering, select. But I'm not even sure. Adeza, I want to speak with you. I want you to guide me. I've made my first installment. What program do I need to join? Select, I need to speak with a professional. So once you select that option, I need to speak with a professional. We're going to organize a one-on-one session with you, answer the questions, and help you. We're not going to make a decision for you on what exactly you need to do, but we will advise you based on your experience on the program you should go for, where you get the best value. Okay, somebody's asking for the LMS. To join the LMS is not free. The LMS is where you have the materials, for the program you've registered for. So you need to be a part of the program before you have access to the LMS. All right. How much in pounds? So all you need to do, Dr. Morgan, if you want to pay in pounds directly, it's going to be more expensive for you. The discounted fee in pounds is £500. Okay. But if you pay using the link I shared, because of the discount we have going on, $600. All right. If you go to any currency converter online, just go online, search for any currency converter, So let's use the O&A currency converter. Search for any, all right, currency converter, and just do, okay, this, I don't like the way this one looks. O&A currency converter, all right. Yep. Yes. So if we go to the O&A currency converter, go to US dollars, select pounds, all right, and 600 US dollars gives you what? About 448, 450 pounds. All right. So by the time you are done, if you are using the discounted fee, doing the 3 monthly installments, by the time you are done paying the $600, you'd have paid just about 450 pounds. Okay. So if you are paying your first installment today of $200, that's roughly about 149 pounds. Okay, so it's easy. You get debited in your local currency, but you are paying $200 first installment. If you are going for the 3 monthly installment plan, if you are making a full-time payment of 600, you get to pay just about 448, 450 pounds. All right, and that's the same with euros and the rest. So you get debited in your local currency, but you are paying the respective amount in dollars. I don't know if that helps. What if I want to pay an installment now, but want to start in November? How will the installment go? I just explained that, Oluwaseun. So what you're going to do, Oluwaseun, is you use the link you have on the slide. Like I said, my colleagues would share this in the chat. Take advantage of it. Click on the link. It takes you right here. Okay, select 3 monthly installments. All right, click on proceed to pay. That's all you need to do. You make your first payment today. So once you click on proceed to pay, proceed, you make your first payment today, and you'd get a question: what is your desired cohort start date? When do you want to start? I want to start on the 2nd of November. You select this. So you even get to select before you complete your payment. All right, you enter your name, you enter your email. It's important because you're going to get an automated receipt into your email once you complete payment. I hope I answered that question, Oluwaseun. Is the BI data learning as detailed as the data analytics? A BI analyst, like I explained earlier, a JMA, BI analysts only learn 2 major technologies. Okay, let me look for a blank page quickly. As a BI analyst, this is what you get to learn. This is your focus area, BI. You focus on what? Power BI or Tableau, depending on the tool, but usually Power BI, number 1. Number 2, you focus on SQL. These are the 2 major technologies you focus on as a BI developer. As a data analyst, on the other hand, let's call them DA. You're going to learn number 1, Excel. Number 2, Power BI. Number 3, Tableau. Number 4, SQL. Number 5, Microsoft Fabric. Let's call it Fabric. And number 6, ChatGPT for analytics. There's no space for me to write. So as a data analyst, can you do the job of a BI analyst? The answer is yes, because the BI analyst focuses on Power BI or Tableau, depending on your preference, and SQL. Just 2 key focus areas. So the business intelligence analyst is a derivative of the data analyst. Okay, so that's exactly how I want you to look at it. So you learning data analytics, you learn all these skills, all these technologies. You don't apply to just the data analyst job. You apply to the business intelligence analyst role, the business intelligence developer, the BI developer. If you remember, when we went to LinkedIn to search for that particular job at Alton, I think it's still open. This is a BI developer role. Let's look at the responsibilities and the tools. Write, test, and debug SQL. Okay, DAX is what you write inside Power BI, data analysis expressions. In Excel, you write formulas and functions. In Power BI, you write DAX. So your major, okay, these are even the skills right here. We are looking for BI developers with experience. What do you get to learn? Power BI, okay? And here they've also indicated SQL. So that's the BI developer, the two focus areas. As a data analyst, you learn a lot more than that. You learn Excel, problem solving, Tableau, SQL, Microsoft Fabric. And I shared that earlier today. I don't know if that answers your question. Can somebody pay for someone? We had somebody who registered 4 family members last month. They paid last month. They started on the 7th of September this month. Okay, so yes, you can. All right, Andy, you can pay for a family member, a brother, a sister, and so on. Okay. I hope I answered that question. Let me see if I have more questions. Okay, Ejimi says, question answered. Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. I'm super excited. My voice could take me this long. How long do we have access to the LMS? You have lifetime access. Lifetime access. So what we are doing at the moment, because we launched the LMS in May this month, we are bringing in all our previous alumni back into the LMS. Okay, so we are not just leveraging. So you guys joining, you get access to the LMS immediately. All right, but for people that joined last year, for example, we had not launched the LMS last year, so we are bringing them back, and that's the immense advantage you have. So you're constantly learning, you're constantly a part of the community, and you have access to all of that. So it's lifetime access. Anytime you can come back, you log in, you have access to the content and material right there. Can I register my son in high school, grade 12? He's interested. Absolutely. As long as your son is between grade 12, if he's up to 16, 17, absolutely he can. Okay. If he's above 15 years old, yes, he can apply. The earlier you start with them, the better. They are sharp at this point in time, very inquisitive, and this is the best time to get them on board. We've had people like that join. I think I have somebody I want to show you very quickly. His name is Uthman. I hope I have him on my slide. He's one of, I hope I have him. I'll just check. So there are so many testimonials. We don't have time to go through everybody. But when you get the slide, you have the opportunity to look at professionals that, yes, so that's Uthman. Okay, so Uthman got this job when he was about, I think, 20, very young. He had just completed school at that time. And he got a job with the NHS as a business intelligence officer. So before he joined, his brother joined a live session like this. His brother was very interested and marveled. Oh, I think my younger brother can gain from this. He's just about to complete his undergraduate degree. So he joined our data analytics program. I personally mentored him, okay, because his brother said, hey, Adeza, I want you to mentor my brother for me and all of that. Uthman, while he was still in the program, the data analytics program, he had an interview with the NHS. The assessment for that interview was ridiculously easy. Okay, so he reached out to me. He said, Adeza, I have an interview. This is the assessment I have. I have a presentation to make based on this assessment. And I looked at it and I threw it back to him. I said, Uthman, go back, try to solve it, and let me see what you have. He came back to me. I looked at what he had done, and he had pretty much done 95% of everything. And I just, crossed the T's, dotted the I's for him. And Uthman today, he got this job about, I think that was in 2022, if I remember, as a business intelligence officer. He has moved from this role to a senior information analyst, still with the NHS. And the reason why I know is because I wrote the reference for him. moving from the previous role into the next role, still under the same NHS. So the younger they are, the better, because you can catch them young, get them into the space. Your CV review session starts about one month into the program. So you need to have covered a considerable part of your curriculum, and then you start your CV review session, your LinkedIn optimization, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right, I'm just checking questions from the chat. So and I'm ending in the next 2 minutes because of time. So if you are in for a mentorship for the profile build, how do you go about it? I have the skill. All right, so Richard, what you want to do is get in touch with any of my colleagues. Okay, get in touch with any of my colleagues. We're going to set you up for a one-on-one session, and then I'll get to understand your current skill level at this point in time, and I can advise you further. Okay, so send a message or send an email. So I'm just trying to get to that particular slide where you can copy. Yes. So you can take a screenshot of this page, Richard, get across. You can send us a WhatsApp to this number. You can call my colleague on this, Lydia Shei, or send us an email to enquiries@tenalytics.io, and you will get a feedback from us. Somebody's asking about the certificates, and so you get a certificate after completing your capstone project. So at the end of every single technology you learn, you get to work on a capstone project. And let me show you. So let's go to the July cohorts. Those are started in July. Okay, so let's go to financial analytics, a different program for a change. Now, once you complete, scroll all the way down, you complete your Excel. So you complete your Excel, for example, you've had your Excel class 1, you have CV review sessions. Like I said, all these sessions are live sessions. Okay, Excel live class 2, live class 3, you have an Excel capstone project. For you to get a certificate, you must complete your capstone projects and make a presentation. So there are presentations embedded. So you look at this. This is a presentation for those who was recorded as well. Of course, by the time you complete your capstone, as a data analyst, you must learn how to communicate your findings and your insights. So you do your presentation together with your group members, okay? And you move on to the next. After Power BI, you do the same. You have a Power BI capstone project. And your projects, remember, are what? Your projects are case study based. And these are the things you upload to your portfolio. So this is for a company called Tektronix. All right. You have the case objective, the data dictionary, and then you have the analysis you are meant to carry out. You're going to download your data sets. You go back, you complete this, and then you come do a presentation. So this is the capstone presentation. I'll see if I can just play a few seconds so you see what people are building and how they're making their presentation eventually. Okay, so this is you learning data storytelling. How do you analyze your data? How do you tell a story from the analysis you've done? All right, so this is somebody who's done the analysis. They're giving a summary, making the presentation, right?
Have to say, but well done on the work. Each dashboard, I saw all of them. They were very well, present.
Okay, so you get feedback from your facilitator and so on and so forth. So you make this presentation, you learn how to tell a story. So when you're on the job, you've been given an analysis to complete. How do you tell a story from what you've done? Okay, so that's what the presentation looks like. So you getting your certificate depends on you completing your capstone project, which shows that you have completed, you have the skills to defend those skills when you get, the job eventually. All right. And our certificate is industry recognized across the globe. And that's why our participants get the best jobs available. If you search for alt analytics alumni who have gotten jobs, if you look at, say, let's Let's check Zainab, for example. So I use Zainab as an example in our mentorship class on Thursday, and that's why you have her popping up here. If you look at Zainab's profile, you'd see Tenalytics experience. Okay, Tenalytics experience. And the reason why she was able to secure this job as a data manager was simply because the organization could see that Zainab was also on a similar role. So if you've been interviewed, you've been assessed, and you've been hired, it means that you have something to offer. So you're more attractive to other companies, if that makes sense to you. So our participants, we get references, reference requests from the biggest and the best organizations across the globe. I hope I answered that question. Okay, we're going to call it a day right now. What I want all of you to do as you leave the session today, go to YouTube, like I mentioned, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on X, across all social media platforms. So when we release any new video, new material, you're the first person to know about the new updates. Take advantage of the discount we have available and be a part of the next cohort starting on the 5th. For those of you that have made payments already, I've seen some payments coming. I'll be meeting with you. For some of you that have selected, you want to have the one-on-one session, I'll be meeting with you starting from Monday up until Wednesday. Registration for the October cohort closes on the 2nd of October, which is on Wednesday. You want to be a part of this, you have a friend, you have a colleague, a neighbor, a family member, just like Andy, who wants to register one of his family members. Go ahead, get them on, share the message. When you receive the link to today's video, share it with them, share the slides, so that they would also say you've done something for them in 2024. Thank you very much, guys, for staying from the beginning of our session today. And even when my cough almost had me, I was still able to stay and, deliver until the end of our session. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. For those of you who couldn't, okay, Esther said, please, I just made payment, but can't access the receipt or form. Don't fret, Esther. You'll receive an email, automated email. If it doesn't come in immediately, you'll get the email. The email would have a link for you to fill the form, the registration form, okay? And all you have to do is, if you need to ask any questions, you need to reach out to us. You can reach out to us on any of our phone numbers, or you can simply just send us an email to enquiries@tenalytics.io. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share the contact details one more time. It's also available on our website. Okay, so if you go to tenalytics.io, www.tenalytics.io, it takes you to the website, about us, contact us, and you have access to any of our phone numbers. Okay, you can reach out to us via email. You can send us a message to any of these numbers. My colleagues are also in the chat. Okay, the email would come in. Dr. Morgan said, I've made payments. The email would come in. Okay. The date for registration says invalid. What does that mean, Augustina? Do you want to explain? The date for registration where? All right. Yeah, send a screenshot. Elijah is asking. But don't worry, Augustina, my colleague would follow up. As long as you feel the attendant. Okay, sorted now. Fantastic. All right. So get in touch with us. Follow us. Search for Adeza Suleiman on LinkedIn. I'll be looking forward to connecting with so many of you that'll be getting your journey started. I'd love to work with you, and I'll see you in class, or I'll start seeing you. For those of you that have said you want to meet with a professional, you get to see my face again. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and have an amazing time. And I hope you got value. If you got value from today's session, type in a yes as we wrap up. Type in a yes into the chat if you got value from today's session. Wasil says yes. Fantastic. Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I'll see you some other time. Cheers, everyone.